Good afternoon today. I'm OJ Hicks. We're at the show Looking Beyond the Walls. I am hosting today with Odell Cleveland. How you doing today, Odell Cleveland?
Doing good, man. Listen, it's good to be on the show. I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this show, you being the host. I just think that, it's good. When you start talking about looking behind the walls, just let the people know what the show is all about.
Looking Beyond the Walls is going to be a show based off of the mental and what you're going through in the penitentiary or prison, as you say.
Okay, so if someone says, hey, my brother, my cousin, my uncle got locked down for 3 years, then they go, we saw them in court. We saw the judge say, I sentence you to 3 years, I do this. So now this show is going to kind of like peel back the onion or roll back the curtain so people can have an idea what happens inside of those 3 years. Because for a lot of folks, the person comes in and then X amount of time later the person gets out. So as we talk about how it is, just to say 3 years, how it is, the first year was that's like the middle time, and then when someone's getting ready, prepared to come home, what we call re-entry, we'll see how that works. And by the way, what makes you an expert? Why are you hosting the show? I'm better looking than you anyway. No. So why are you hosting the show? I should be hosting the show.
You're not better looking than me.
Okay.
But for one, I feel like I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but
tell the people.
I'm experienced, for sure. Definitely experienced in these situations as far as first time ever being incarcerated and going from a courthouse or the jail, that used to say, the jailhouse life to actual penitentiary and prison life is different. It's a very different experience, and you have to be able to adjust. So adjusting from going from jail to prison, you have to know the rules. You gotta.
Well, who make the rules? Because you brought up an interesting point. So if I leave jail, Odell got locked up for whatever. So I'm in jail. I'm downtown in Guilford County Jail. Mm-hmm. Okay. I sit there. Either I get out on bond or I wait for my court date.
Right.
If there is such a thing as a bond. Okay. So my court date comes. I have my attorney, or if I can't afford an attorney, they give me an attorney. So I'm still good. Then I hope to get in front of the right judge, or how does all that work?
Yeah, you hope to get in front of the right judge, but I mean that's not guaranteed.
Wow.
That's not guaranteed unless maybe you have a good paid lawyer, that can wait an X amount of court dates to get you in front of that certain judge that's working that month on that day.
Wow. So the system is going in.
Yeah.
Already. So how about if you get this court-appointed attorney or lawyer that's got a zillion cases and they run in the courtroom, paper flying everywhere. Nothing against them because we appreciate public defender. We appreciate that. But how does that usually work?
That's more of like it's a hassle.
Wow.
It's a hassle, because it's not like no type of strategic way they do things, you know what I'm saying? Like, not knocking them or nothing like that, but
we're happy for them.
Yeah, they're trying to help, but they're not kind of helping, you know what I'm saying? And I say that because I had a court-appointed lawyer when I went to prison, and just like his lack of interest of trying to help, and I had my community service done, and I had my tickets and stuff paid for, or my restitution, or whatever you want to call it. I had those things paid for, just got a new lease on an apartment. I was able to get my first apartment, had my car, I had a job, everything, but he just didn't seem like he actually tried hard enough to help me, It was more so, hey, look, you sign these papers, you do this right here, then you out the way. Now I'm on to my next X amount of cases I got to deal with.
Well, what do you say? You're the host. What do you say to the people who are watching you? They said, but for you to be in court, you must have did something. Or is everybody in prison innocent?
I went to prison. I'm gonna speak for me. So I went to prison for robbery, and I went for conspiracy or robbery with a dangerous weapon. It was all the same thing, and that led up to me having to go to court for my probation hearing, which they didn't feel that, you know, I was doing what I was supposed to do on probation. So if you violate that, number one rule is prison time, you know? So for me, it's a first-hand experience, you know?
Okay. So you went in for robbery. I'm not going to ask you, did you rob anybody or not? You went in for robbery, so you went in. How was it when you first went into prison? Because you understand jail. Jail is here. Family members can come to see you. How was it when you went into prison? Where did you go?
My first prison that I went into was Polk. I went to Polk.
Where's Polk?
Polk is like near like Raleigh area.
Okay.
I think it's Butner or something like that.
Okay.
It's a youth prison. So I want to
how
say
old were you?
I was 21 turning 22.
Okay.
Yeah, 21 turning 22. So that's more so a youth prison for, I want to say like 17 or 18 until you're like 24 or 25.
So how long did you stay there?
I stayed there for 4 months.
Okay. When did you come to the realization that, you know what, I'm in doggone prison. I'm in prison.
Yeah.
This is real now. This ain't
real.
no, this is real. How did that realization come to you?
Excuse me. That realization came to me when I actually like woke up my first day at Polk. Like I actually woke up thinking that I was at home.
Wow.
But I actually woke up and I was around like, it's like 32 other inmates in there. So
in one cell?
Nah, in one. It's a pod.
Okay.
It's a block. So they call it a block.
Okay.
You know. So you in this block, you in that block. You got 32 inmates in this block. You got 32 inmates in that block, and it's like a horseshoe. They call it a shoe.
Yeah.
So when I woke up in my block, I see this guy sleep, you know, this guy may be up, you may have the CO walking around. So after seeing that...
What's a CO? What's a CO?
CO's correction officers, come on.
But folks here...
You gotta know the slang. You gotta know the slang.
May have never been to prison before.
You gotta know the slang.
They don't know what a CO is.
The CO.
Okay, they may think you think about a CEO, Chief Executive Officer.
Just take the E out the CEO.
Well, you tell them, because they're sitting there looking at you. They're coming talking to you. Talk to me,
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So that's the CEO.
All right.
Which, and it's multiple times. It's multiple times that my mind was registered and thinking about the outside world a lot of times, because that's how I had to handle my mental. It was to make sure I stay focused on what I wanted when I came home. And it was times that I seen, you know, the dangerous things, of which reminded me, okay, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta.
What's the dangerous things? You said two things that I don't understand, and maybe your audience don't understand. You said you had to hide your mental and the dangerous things. Can you explain to the audience what the dangerous things are and hide the mental, what those terms mean? Because if they continue to watch you, they'll know what you're talking about, and they'll know the slang. They'll know the slang.
The dangerous things, as far as like seeing stabbings, you know, seeing people being raped.
Wow.
You know.
In prison?
Yeah, in prison.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's a myth, you know.
Yeah.
It's a myth. Not every guy gets
right.
raped, but, you know, unfortunately, I've seen that, and thank God I haven't been a victim of that.
Wow.
Because, you know.
But hide your mental. What does hide your mental mean? Before that, have you ever seen someone get killed?
Yeah.
I mean, not saying you saw a dead person. Actually, you saw the person getting killed.
Yeah.
So what do you do? you and your pod, everybody's down there in prison, quote unquote, and someone start fighting or gonna kill someone. What does everybody do? Because usually, if you see a fight, society says you stop and break it up. But are those not the rules?
No, no way.
So no way. So you don't go break up anything in prison. That's the CO's jobs.
I mean, unless it's like if it's like gang affiliated or something like that, you know. I mean,
but you're not gang affiliated.
Yeah, I'm not gang affiliated. So that's the only time that somebody breaks up a fight. You know, like your homies or whatever like that. Homies, of course, quote, since Odell wants to slang, the homies are your other affiliates or whatever.
Got you.
Okay. But besides that, I've seen inmates attack COs.
Oh wow.
You know,
correctional officer.
Yeah, that's
so people just wilding in prison sometimes.
That's how I go. Like they're against them, you know, and then you got people in there that's in there and have nothing to lose.
Wow.
And you have COs, correctional officers, going home, but they don't know that these people don't have nothing to lose. They know, but they don't know, okay, it was that individual that I messed with, that I antagonized, that, you know, I pushed his buttons all the time, you know. So I done seen some COs have to get on a helicopter too. They were severely hurt. So get on a
helicopter means that they're rushing them out to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm catching on to the slang.
You got to catch up, man.
I got to catch up. Okay. Well. Okay. I'm the old guy who have to catch up. So here it is. People get hurt. Mm-hmm. Your mental. Protect your mental. What does you said? I have to protect my mental from the outside or the inside.
When I say that, it's more so like being strong. You know.
Mentally strong.
Got it. You can't let what nobody say or what somebody does or do affect what you know is right. You know what I'm saying? Because everything happens out of a thought.
Wow.
You know, everything is a thought. Just somebody said, "Hey, look, let's create something for us, a table, and we're gonna call it a table. We're gonna call it a desk." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just the simple things like that. Like you have to be able to protect yourself from the negativity as well.
So I'm in prison. I have certain people coming to me to join, not the gang, join a clique because it's protection and safety and cliques.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's protecting me physically. Mentally, I have to protect myself by careful of the negativity coming in. But how about if I have children or I have my mother's birthday or I've seen this before and I felt so sad. A friend of mine years ago died. Mm-hmm. They brought his son was in prison, so they brought his son to the funeral, but they brought him in shackles and chains to the funeral. Where many would say they were glad that he was able to come to his father's funeral, but just the whole idea of here it is, two tall white guys with him. He's shackled. He really could barely walk because you know that shuffle you have when you shackled. Yeah. And even though he had on a suit, it looked so. Just in my opinion, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard that he had to come in there chained up like that. Do guys go home for funerals all the time?
Not that I know of. Like I've maybe known like two people that was in my block that went to like for a funeral. Uh-huh. But you know they came back and said that they wasn't shackled. So you got to think of the severity of that inmate. Like, are they dangerous? Will they escape? Will they try to escape? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it may be a reason why they shackled.
Gotcha.
And then again, you got to think about what correctional officer is on staff for that day, too. Because you might have, like, excuse my language, but you might have an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You might have somebody
So if you get a butthole on staff that day, you're saying that officer has he or she has the ability to make those decisions, whether I go out to my mother's funeral in shackles or not.
Yeah. Yeah. They can do whatever they want to do. They do it inside the prison. They do whatever they want. They have that right. They got the key. They got the key to the streets. They got the key to the shackles. They do.
So help me. So you in there for 3 years. You miss mama. You miss girlfriend. You miss all that. So now you got
I didn't have no girlfriend.
Okay, you didn't have no girlfriend. Okay.
I didn't have no girlfriend.
All right. So you miss all that. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm the average person.
Yeah.
Okay, so they missed that. So now you get acclimated to prison life.
Mm-hmm.
You went from jail to prison, and now you have, say, 2 years left. What do you do with that year? We talk about people get their GEDs, people get high school diplomas. Back in the day, people got college degrees, people learn skills, trades, people read, people find religion, people lose religion, people do a lot of things. What usually happen in that time period to keep one mind strong? I know a lot of guys lift weights, a lot of guys. What's that all about?
Well, like, that's a good question, because the things that you do while you're incarcerated, you know, that will affect how you will come out too.
Wow.
So
unpack that for me.
So
the old guy with the bald head.
Me,
the old guy with the bald head. Help the old guy with the bald head.
So like, for me, my first year,
yes,
it was more so, for one, finding out how I'm gonna survive.
What does you mean by survive? What does that mean? Survive mean what?
Okay, for one, I love to eat.
Okay.
And I love to eat good food.
So
that food that they got
Uh-huh.
is terrible.
So how do you get food in because any other food would be called contrabands, right?
I mean, you got commissary.
Okay.
You got commissary or canteen, whatever, you know, some people call it. You know, that's people put money on your account.
Oh,
and then,
so inside the prison, we have commissary and canteens like any place else. So it's like, you're in prison, so you're going to get this. This is what you're going to get to eat.
Yeah.
It's almost like free and reduced lunch. You're going to get this. You're entitled to this. But if you want Starbucks or you want Panera Bread or something like that, you go to the canteen if you have your own money to pay for additional things or eat better food.
Yeah.
What happened to the person who can't afford it?
It depends on what type of person it is. You might have that person that's hungry and he may take it, or you might have that person that may ask, or you may have that person that may do something to get it. You know, it's all type of.
So here we are.
I'm just saying.
You're rich and I'm poor, so I'm eating the low level stuff.
I mean, it's all low level, but in there, yes.
In the ranking order, you eating the good stuff. You coming back with the cake and ice cream.
You coming back with the ice cream and the cake. You got the stuff smelling good. I'm looking at you like, yo, brah. So really, the currency in prison may not always be money. It could be food.
Food could be currency?
Yeah.
Okay, so a bag of potato chips. What's a bag of potato chips worth?
36 cents.
So people may not know stocks and bonds and the stock market, but people understand what's the most valuable commodity as relate to food in prison that's being traded.
All right, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. At some point in time, my mother lost her job when I was in prison. She got fired from United Healthcare. She'd been working there over 10 years straight, faithfully. So I told her, I said, hey, look, I'm good, and I never told her this neither. But
well, you get ready to tell everybody. You get ready to tell a million people.
But look, this is what I did, right? So
don't say anything that violates you, because I understand that you're still on probation, right, or parole.
No. I'm on parole.
Okay.
No, it's nothing bad.
Okay.
But it's just a way to eat. So, all right, it's called the store.
The store?
Yeah, the store.
Okay.
So, in my cell, if my mom had a chance to send me some money,
yes,
or if I had a chance to like stack up some money on my account,
yes,
I stack up like $60 to like $75 on my account.
Okay.
I get like 2 or 3 boxes of soups, which 24 come in there in the pack. So I get like 3 boxes of soups. I get everything in bulk. And I
from the commissary?
Yeah, from the commissary, from their store.
Okay.
But this the juice store right here. This my store.
The juice store. Okay,
so,
juice.
So if people that did have money or whatever like that, I would give them a suit, but you got to give me 2 suits back.
Wow. So a can of soup.
Nah, it's not a can. It's the.
Oh, okay. I don't know nothing. I never been to prison. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I never been to prison. I'm sorry.
It's soup. It's not a can or like that.
It's like a bag of soup, like dry soup, like dry. Okay.
If it was a can soup, you know how many people be making all types of weapons out of that can.
See, I don't know.
You got to put the hat back on.
I got to put the hat back on.
You're losing it.
Because see, I never been to prison, so I don't know that a soup can is a weapon. You're absolutely right. I don't know.
People make weapons out of a bed spring.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So soup without a can.
Yeah, soup without a can. All right. So I would get everything in bulk, like how you go to Sam's Club.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I wouldn't get nothing to drink. Maybe like juice packets.
Yeah.
Or like waters or something like that, like a box of water or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just give out, all right, well, such and such owe me.
So you keep the tallies. So you got inventory, tallies, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how, I eat. But at the same time, that's another way to build that. And if a person was like $35 or $40 in debt, but they gonna click, clicking mean they gonna click that money.
Okay, so they're going to pay you back.
Yeah.
They're going to pay off their debt.
They're going to pay off their debt.
Yeah.
It's just, they got it set up to they only get paid maybe like once or twice a month or whatever.
How do they get paid? They're in prison. How do you get paid in prison?
I mean, it's one of them type of people, they family send them like
got you. Okay,
X amount of money once or twice a month to last them throughout the, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
those type of people, you got credit.
Okay, so you got credit in prison now. So what makes my credit good in prison? I know I got a credit score. So in prison, do I have a credit score also?
Yeah, but it's not numerical.
So entrepreneurism.
Yeah.
Or hustling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how did you learn that?
I mean, it's just being in a box, for so long.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Then your mom really can't send you money like that, and your cousin sending you money too, as much as he can. But it's not as much as it was when mom was sending it to you. So it's like, at some point in time, like, you got to figure out a plan to eat in here. Because, they feeding you, but they not really feeding you, what you want.
Right.
So that's why I say you got to go back to that survival mode. You might have to eat that. You might have to bust down the chicken, that they give you. You may get that like once a month. You get baked chicken like once a month. And you might not even get that. So you might have to use.
What's the normal thing they usually get? Because on TV we see beans and
man.
I know that's the main thing.
We always get beans.
Beans.
We always get these fake burgers that got these little red specks in it.
Okay.
We get these counterfeit mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And
but somebody would say you're in prison. You better be happy for anything you can get.
Yeah. You got to. You have to work with it. You have to work with it. Because if not, you're going to starve.
Okay, so how does one, so you survived, the store in the store, you made me put my hat back on because I don't understand. Now, you're a year from getting out. How do you protect your mental, your mind, that I want to get out, and some other guys in there who got life or they getting out for a while, they don't like you, so they're going to try to get you violated and all this kind of stuff, your time. When I say violated, meaning your time, so you don't get out when you're supposed to get out, you get more time. How did you handle all that? Because it looked like if I'm ready to get out and I'm ready to get out, but my enemy's like, man, I don't like Odell, so I'm gonna set him up or do something, or I'm gonna go to the CO, correction officer, or something. How do you handle all that? Have you ever seen that happen before?
Yeah. More so like on the gang side, they may have somebody that may be fresh into a gang and then like they about to go home. I know this one dude, he had me call his mom to let him know where he was, what prison that he possibly would be going to when he was going to be released from home.
Wow.
And like within like matter of fact, I was on lockup then. Like within like 4 or 5 hours.
What's lockup?
Lockup is solitary confinement. Yeah.
So you went from store owner to solitary confinement to everything.
Mm-hmm. And I was on. So he wanted me to call his mom. I called his mom. Within like 30 minutes, he was getting sent to the hole.
Why?
He assaulted an officer.
Why did he assault the officer?
His big homie told him to do it.
Oh, that's what you say. When you gang affiliated, the big homie is the guy in charge or the girl in charge. So they says, okay, Odell, to be in this gang, I know you're going home in 2 weeks, but I want you to go and assault this officer for me. But my big homie, the gang affiliate, know that that's going to give me about another 6 months in prison.
Yeah. It's a year now.
But why would my big homie want me to have another year if he's looking out for me?
You got guys who's lonely, man. Guys
who's lonely? So what? I get a whole another year in prison because he don't want me to leave?
That's how it goes.
This ain't buddy. This ain't no hobby. I'm trying to get my freedom back.
I know. That's how I go though. It's tough. So like.
But how if I tell him no? I want to go home and see my people.
That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm about to get into. Like, for the people, I done had a lot of people try to steer me in this direction right here. They want me to be gang. They want me to sell drugs. They want me to wash their back in the shower. You know, they want me to do gang affiliate things.
Wash their back or wash their back?
Like watch, like.
Okay,
like,
you watch
like
in
watch,
the shower. You sitting there like a security guard.
Yeah, because any time people get stabbed in the shower at any point in time. It's not no going to the bathroom, locking the door, sliding the shower. No, it's not nothing like that.
It's wide open, so the shower is one of the most vulnerable places.
Yeah.
Okay, now you selling drugs in prison. You in prison. Nobody don't sell drugs in prison. How you get drugs in prison?
What? There's so many. I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Tell the people
before I get into that right there. I knew it was real when I seen a dude. He made a syringe out of a chicken bone.
A syringe out of a chicken bone?
Yeah.
Like a syringe to shoot a needle?
Up. Yeah. That's how I knew. I was like, okay, if you put somebody in a box for too long, whatever they habit or whatever they're addicted to, they gonna find a way to get it.
Oh man, so I get it now.
They gonna find a way.
So you're saying, hey, if I put you in a box, if I lock you up long enough,
yeah,
I'm gonna sit there out of desperation or out of ingenuity. I'm gonna find a way to turn a chicken bone into a syringe so I can get my drugs and shoot my drugs up in a chicken bone.
Yeah.
I have never heard that before, and if it wasn't you, I would say you lying. But I know you don't lie like
for real.
But so like, is it desperation?
Yeah. It's desperate.
But how do people get drugs in there?
It's so many ways. I mean, you got mules.
Okay. I think mules are people who swallow it and then it comes out the other end and they do this, or someone who put drugs up their rectum and all this kind of stuff, or maybe guests come in.
And that's like, I mean, I'm not gonna get like super into like super detail about like, okay, well, he do this and he do that. Right. But that's it. That's the answer to everything, a mule. You got somebody plugged in on the outside to bring it in on the inside, whether they work there or whether you got somebody that live closer to prison that can throw it over the fence. I mean, the whole world knows. I mean, it's not just falling out, you know, from the ceiling in the doggone cell, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's just, and I'm not speaking like in a negative way about what people do in prison, because that's how they survive.
Right.
That's how they survive. And you got people in there that's in there for 90-something years. Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Living day for day, and they just waiting for them to just be deceased. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just it's an experience in going through those things. The reason why I like to share things like that, because if you see me, I've never lost a tooth, never got no crazy scar on my face, never got beat up, jumped, you know what I'm saying, never got stabbed. I've had some encounters to where I had to get in a situation, you know, but I've never been crazy injured, you know, nothing like that.
Think about it though. You came out of prison with a dream and a vision. Tell the audience about your dream and vision, and now you hosting your own TV show, podcast. I mean, come on, how long you been out? You still on probation?
Yeah, I know.
You hosting your own show, talk about, you know,
I actually been doing
the walls.
Yeah, I actually been doing good. I actually really been doing I've been doing my thing, and like I say, the show is looking beyond the walls. So whatever you see beyond those walls, if you can see it, you can achieve it at any point in time. You definitely got to be patient. You definitely got to be yourself too. Definitely got to be yourself too. Can't be an imposter. But so my dream is in the making. But my dream is to be a professional videographer, photographer, film editing. Like, that's my dream. What I see beyond the camera, inside the lens, what I see that's outside the cup of water, not inside it. We know inside the cup of water is water, but what I see outside the cup is deep, it's different.
That's powerful,
so
man.
It's like, I know what I want, so I've tried to find some resources to help me get what I want, and that's what I'm doing now. So
we know you're not looking at the cup of water, you're looking beyond the water, because you know what's inside the cup is water.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from, man? That's deep.
Literally, I just came up with that.
Literally, you just came up with that.
Literally.
But you're a smart, intelligent guy. Some viewer would say you don't belong in prison.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like, a lot of people that I've come across, and like, if I talk to them or whatever like that, or eventually if we build some type of relationship, they'll be like, I would have never thought you ever been in prison before. Or like, especially if I'm working a job and I really gotta eventually tell them, like, look, I gotta go see my parole officer.
Wow.
You know, so I may be a little late.
When you tell somebody you got to go see your PO officer, that make you lose jobs that way? Because you're trying to, obviously you're trying to live right, you're trying to do right, you're not selling drugs, you're not robbing nobody, you're not doing anything. How hard is the second chance? When you start talking about Second Chance Act and start talking about reentry to what? Society, reentry, you getting out. How prepared to be out were you when you got out?
Oh, I was super prepared. I was like super prepared. One of my really great friends that I was incarcerated with this whole time, Ronnie Lee Ford. Unfortunately, he's still incarcerated, but he dropped a lot of jewels on me while I was incarcerated about life, like a lot. And as you can see, I haven't caught no charges. I haven't went down the wrong path. I got my own LLCs to my own production company. You know, I've been finishing the course with you, Odell, with, you know, the production and all that stuff and business and everything. So, like, I put a plan together. I put it here, but I put it on black and white too.
How long was it up there? Can I take my hat off, please?
Yeah, let's see it.
How long was it up here? Because all I knew was, here's this young guy calling me, emailing me about, I need to be trained in videography. I know you used to do it. I need it. And I tried to blow you off, but you just kept calling and emailing, texting, and all this kind of stuff. So when did all this get in your head, man?
It's been something that I wanted to do forever, forever.
But why me?
It's just, hey, the only reason I called you is because, for one, in prison, Ford always talked about you, how good of a person you is, how down to earth you are, how you always come through, you always stand on your word, and if you can't do something, you can't do it. If you can, you can. You just that type of person. So that's for one. I heard that. For two, when I went through the soft skills program with Miss Lovett, she had me on speaker, and your voicemail came up, and I remember Reverend Odell Cleveland from Ford saying it so many times. He always would say your name, your whole name. He always would say it. So I remembered it.
But y'all in prison.
Yeah.
And that's how many years before you got out?
Like maybe 20-something months, maybe.
So for 20-something months, you're saying when I get out of prison, I'm going to look up Odell Cleveland and he's going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know you existed, man.
Yeah. I didn't know you existed until he said something. Until he showed me his production company.
Yeah.
And what he got off his production company, of what you and Jeff helped him and showed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how you know we didn't? How didn't you know that we wasn't gonna tell you just go jump in the lake?
Because you just didn't. You didn't. You was the one setting up the courses and the classes, and yeah, I may have been the only one.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. But I'm just saying though, in my life, I'm 59 years old. How old are you?
I'm 25 now.
Okay, you're 25.
I always think I'm 25.
I've had people who promised me things in life and disappointed me. I've promised people things and disappointed them. But I'm just saying, I was glad that I didn't know who you are. I didn't know where you came from. But just something about you was special.
Yeah.
And now since I got to know you, and now you have your own company, now you're starting off the podcast, and I mean, who does that?
A person that wants it.
But you were the same person before you went to prison. But you were going about it the wrong way, or
That's
a different
it.
way,
It's
or
the
what?
path. It's the path. You have to redirect your focus, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people focus in there is when I get out, I'm gonna rob the plug. I'm gonna rob.
What's the plug? I'm sorry. What's the plug?
Look, I'm gonna have to write you
urban
slang dictionary
slang for prison for folk. For
urban
who
slang
never went
dictionary.
To prison. What's the plug? What's the plug? But I ain't the only one. Some of your audience probably never heard that. When I get out of prison, I'm gonna rob the plug. What's the plug? The bank or what? The club?
What's that? What's that over there? It's a.
Oh, a
we
plug.
gonna make it make sense.
Okay, that's
we gonna make it. That's a source. That's a source, right?
Yes.
That's the source.
So when I get out of prison, I'm gonna go rob the source that has money.
Exactly.
So the plug is anything that has a source. It might be a store, it might be a club, it might be the bank, it might be the armored car.
It's where the most is at. This is where it's where is the X amount at.
But you're not trying to rob the plug. You working hard, struggling all day, doing what you need to do, doing what everybody who's committed to help you ask you to do. I mean, you just deal with, and now you come up with this thing. I want to have my own show.
Yeah, you gotta just be patient. You just gotta go about things the different way. Everybody, like you say, everybody has a hustle in them. Well, if it's a good hustle, or it might be a bad hustle.
Right.
But you gotta take that hustle and make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when we first met, you said, hey, look, we're gonna do this production thing, but while we're doing this production thing, I'm gonna teach you how to be able to make money doing it the same, doing this, we gotta make something out of it. You just can't be going out here just doing stuff because
my thing to you, my commitment to you, if you were willing, I would be willing to train you and teach you and help connect you with my network to how do you make money legally.
Right, exactly.
Legally. Because I believe that as a older person in the community, that especially as a black male to another young black male getting out of prison, that I have to plant trees that I know shade I'll never sit under.
Right.
And I have to build a bridge, not for me, but for those who come behind me. Because if somebody doesn't reach out and help you and other young people who made a mistake when they were younger, and now you said, I'm trying to do it right, if nobody don't help and you can't get it right, then I believe the chances of you doing the wrong thing or making the wrong decision are much greater than if you know people behind you, cheerleaders, and all this kind of good stuff, especially, and I didn't know this, for 2 years, you and Mr. Ford is saying Odell Cleveland, Odell Cleveland, Odell Cleveland, and now Odell Cleveland was able to come through. Well, Odell Cleveland didn't disappoint you.
Right. But this is the thing about disappointment. What I've learned, because I've been disappointed about just the smallest things, even when I want a job. Like, you know, I wanted to work at Fleming Steakhouse super bad because my girlfriend, she took me for my birthday there and I had a great experience, and I know they make great money. But I expected them to hire me. You know what I'm saying? My expectations was, it's a good mindset to have, you know, encourage yourself and be confident. But when you're just focused on this one thing to happen and it doesn't happen, you're disappointed.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. So in today's wrap up your show, in today's show we talked about going in. I learned a bunch of new
You got new words now. You got some new words now.
I don't know what I'm using though, because I hope I don't plan to go to prison to use the plug and the this and the that and everything else. But I really appreciate you giving your audience a behind the scene look, because a lot of times our loved ones go in prison because they say the majority or a large percentage of prison populations are African American males. So I'm an African American male, so I say the majority of people look like me, or if not the majority, a good amount of people look like me. But people like yourself who are intelligent, who has the entrepreneurial skill set. So in my mind, if I could put something else in your hand, you know, instead of a gun or a weapon or instead of drugs, it's almost like the Bible said, "What's in your hand, Moses?" Moses said, "I got a staff. What's in your hand?" So if we can put what's in your hand, sir, and you said, I have technology in my hand, I have cameras in my hand, I have videography in my hand. Then I said, what's in your mind? And you said, I got visions like crazy. And I said, what's in your heart? And you like, goodness.
Yeah.
I got goodness in my heart. Why wouldn't people give you a chance?
Yeah. But, yeah, when people see that in you, they don't mind giving you a chance, especially if you keep continuing the goodness, you know? But when people see that you, okay, I helped you out, I got you here, and then you went back 10 steps, so you must not want, you know, and that's what, it makes it hard sometimes because some people really want to help people, but they don't want to take the chance, invest their time and money because of what has happened previously.
So can you wrap this up and tell your audience, invite them for next week?
Next week, I invite you guys with me and Odell Cleveland, and we're definitely going to talk on Looking Beyond the Walls about people wanting to get the help, people looking for the help, and how to reach out to get that help, so how to grasp that help. So we definitely see you, and thank you for watching, thank you for listening.